Ladies and gentlemen, let's Red Gaming Telecom video. Let us discuss recent news that Nvidia are set to unveil an Android-like console. And no, we're not talking about Nvidia's Shield. Indeed, it's going to be something a little different. So, details at the moment are a little sketchy on the ground, but supposedly this will allow you to stream from a high-powered PC and will be Android-based. And indeed will also come up with a budget-priced separate controller, which you can use to link to the Android console. So, what is unclear right now, however, whether the system can actually function on its own merit. In other words, can it run a game without requiring a GPU or a PC, shall I say, as like a crutch? Now, these details haven't been really unveiled. So, in fact, one of the industry analysts has said that, and I quote, "And if the new device requires your PC to have a relatively new Nvidia GPU, which is, of course, a graphics processing unit, to make use of its abilities, that will really limit its addressable market." So, if this is true, this would mean it would require something along the lines of Nvidia's GeForce Experience, which is pretty cool, but obviously, first of all, it requires a more recent Nvidia card for A, and for B, well, it requires an Nvidia card. However, there's also possibilities that it can run using Nvidia's Tegra K1 chip. So this K1, there's actually two variants of it, but they are basically ARM-based and have 192 GPU cores, CUDA cores, and have already demonstrated titles such as Unreal Engine 4 running. Indeed, despite the fact that some people are complaining about this, it's actually true that in terms of raw GPU compute power, it's actually faster than the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360. So there's definitely quite a lot of, well, grunt there. So supposedly one of the ideas behind this is to basically enable the user to have like a Steam-like experience. So you could, for example, have a very high-end system, and then you could basically stream it to a low-power, low-energy, low-cost, theoretically, gaming device in your living room, and you won't need a Steam machine. And indeed, of course, that means you'd also have very low latency because it's all being done via the GPU and Wi-Fi. You'd have fantastic graphics and all the other bits and pieces you'd expect. So this would also be allow you to be able to play a lot of Android-based titles as well. Nvidia have struggled with the Shield device. It hasn't really taken off, maybe as well as what many expected it to. The PC hardware market is doing really well right now, in terms of gaming especially. I released a video just a day or two ago that was reporting that currently it's worth about 21.5 billion, and indeed that number is looking to surge to over 23 billion over the next couple of years. And what's really weird about that, and I didn't actually know this until after I'd made the video, is that means it's actually worth double, quite literally double, what the console hardware market is as well, which is pretty damn impressive. PC game sales are also going up a little bit. Watch Dogs, for example, sold about as well on the Xbox 360 as it did on the PC, which is, once again, fairly impressive considering. And PC gamers typically, from what the research is showing, are willing to spend a hell of a lot more than console gamers. And the other benefit, of course, of PC is that we expect ridiculously high quality games. So let's say, for example, this device could appeal to the market of, let's say, for example, you've got a high-spec PC in one room. Let's say you use it for video editing and work and everything else, and you would probably have a high-end GPU if you're doing video editing work. Not only can you use that for video encoding and processing, but it just makes the whole experience a little bit snappier for previewing, that type of thing. So you could maybe use it for that reason, and then you could basically stream the game from that room to your living room if you feel like playing games. So there's definitely that, and I personally would possibly use the device very similarly. I know quite a few people who do the same thing. On the other hand, even like hardcore PC gamers might use it for games like, say, just throwing it out there, but something like Batman, or a non-competitive FPS like, say, Metro. I personally wouldn't want to play a game without keyboard and mouse, if you can, like a first-person shooter. But it doesn't really matter, I guess, if you're just going through it for the sake of storyline. Other games like, say, Dragon Age, you can just kick back, chill, play the game on your large 52-inch TV, get much better graphics than you could possibly ever get on a console, play with ridiculous, ludicrous amounts of anti-aliasing and so on. Obviously, you do get issues streaming to the TV. Most likely, depending on your Wi-Fi setup, it could be limited to, say, 1080p in most. But still, it's going to look much better than console 1080p, because obviously you're going to get those better graphics anyway and higher levels of anti-aliasing. It will be theoretically quite low latency because it's not working over the internet. So it's just, well, I guess it depends on your internet connection, sorry, your wireless setup, but it's probably not going to be adding huge amounts of latency anyway. So I imagine this would be quite an interesting device. On the other hand, not sure how it's going to do in the marketplace as a whole. Steam are also pushing their device, and Steam and, well, Valve as a company have a lot of clout. The other problem is how much merit is the device going to have on its own back, like on its own terms. What can it do? Because at the end of the day, if it's just like an average low-power device, to be honest, you can make your own little PC, like your own little multimedia PC. So I think there's going to be a lot of what other functions does it have? Does it actually earn a place in the living room? That's going to be the key. So anyway, it's a bit of a mystery, and this is not confirmed yet, but it does appear that Nvidia are unveiling, or set to unveil, this little system. So I guess we can only wait. And once again, the specs have not been confirmed, but it appears to be using a variant of Nvidia's K1. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.